Hey guys, I'm gonna make a quick video, just kind of clarify some issues and make sure everything is kind of at least loosely tied up. Uh, I've had a and this is being sent to one particular person at this point, and in the event that others see it, it's probably a worst case scenario. But I've had, and I don't mean to be all doom and gloom or anything like that, but uh, I've had a lot of health issues ongoing for several years, really. And tonight, something kind of reoccurred that made me feel like I need to kind of get things together. But I don't even know really where to begin. My sister suggested that I make a video. That way, it can't be implied that anybody's forged anything or anything like that. And today is October 1st, 2022. I think the time is around 10 p.m. And I'm of sound mind, sound body. These health complications, the only concern that I have in my job, my vocation, is that if anything were to happen, and it could be health or it could be, an accident or anything, I just don't want there to be a lot of loose ends left for others to try and figure out what my desires or wishes would be. And I'm hoping that this video will hold a little bit of weight and validity toward that means. Maybe at some point here in the near future I can actually sit down with an attorney and draft something up. But for the time being, what happened today was early this morning. I began to have a lot of profuse bleeding in my urine, or it was blood. It wasn't frank bleeding like fresh blood. It was like dead cells, and I'm hoping that what it is byproduct from where my liver, where this medication has cleared up the viral process, and now my liver is beginning to heal and stockpile these dead cells either in my spleen or pancreas or wherever they may be stored. And then one certain supplement that I've taken, which is geared to spleen and pancreatic health, I'm thinking that it may have kind of broke things loose and caused these clots and and all of this dead tissue to just suddenly dump from my body. But it was kind of alarming whenever it first occurred. And I called, or I sent messages to two people, and the immediate response from both was, get to the hospital, and I know my body. I have somewhat healed myself from a lot of processes. I've been through this before. This isn't the first bout of this type bleeding. Now, I have had kidney stones in the past, but kidney stones, whenever they come through, it's more of a red bleeding. This was like, it was like grape juice. I mean, it was a real dark consistency, cranberry grape, something just real odd, and had a really foul odor to it and everything. But it's beginning to lighten up. I'm trying to flush my system with a lot of water and get all of this stuff flushed out, and hopefully it'll just be a a temporary thing. I have had recent labs where they told me that my PSA levels were great. I didn't have any leukocytes or white blood cell matter that was of an alarming point. So I don't think it's cancer. I don't think it's anything like that. I think my body is just kind of rebalancing after this bout with Hep C. But again, this has happened probably 4 or 5 times over the past 2 or 3 years. Not to the extent that it happened this time, and it's still ongoing. This has been probably, I don't know, 14, 16 hours later, and I'm still having a lot of heavy, bloody material, urine come out. But anyhow, all that being said, I do want to clarify, and I don't intend to hurt anyone's feelings or have this be an affront to anybody. It's just I tend to analyze things. I look very deeply and cautiously at most moves that I make in life, and in doing so I evaluate people around me, and in doing that I don't have a lot of wealth, but if anything were to happen to me, I want it to be clear as to how what little I have is divided. And basically I don't really think there's a big need for division with it. My oldest sister, she and her family, they're all taken care of, and this would just be pennies for them. My youngest sister, she's her son is a financial genius, and he's well set where she'll always be taken care of. My brother, I fear that if I put anything in his hands, it would be to his detriment. Probably, I hate to say that, but it probably wouldn't go to good use. So that begins to narrow down people who I feel are likely candidates to use what few resources that I do have to pass on in a positive manner, and benefit not only their own lives but lives around them. And I look at people as to their level of honor, trust, integrity. And over the past couple of years, many of y'all have heard me reference my roommate, especially my siblings. And this roommate, Angela, she I kind of kidnapped her in the onset. It was just what I saw as being the best scenario for all. I needed somebody in the house. I needed to have that peace of mind, and she has been there. She's been steadfast. She has called anytime anything came up. She's been really reliable, and has put a tremendous ease on my shoulders of stress that I would, and I actually experienced this out here on the road whenever nobody was in the house. I went through a lot of real hard emotional turmoil, over not being able to be there and get by frequently to check on the place. So, and I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at people as to how their level of honor, trust, integrity. So, I look at her presence there has been invaluable. It's been key to my ability to be able to save and work on things around me and get things to the point that they are. And that being said, I also want to emphasize this is absolutely nothing romantic. I think I kind of, I don't know, I think in the initial hour, I've known her for years on social media. And at one point I said something about, she was attractive. To me, she was attractive. And I say that to a lot of people, a lot of females. It's, just to me, it's a compliment. There are some people that, in all honesty, I just don't want to be anywhere around them. But she's very like-minded, very inquisitive, very eclectic. And those attributes about her made me focus real, and it's almost like, I'm being told to watch this person, to identify and bring their aid in. So, and I try not to question too much what the universe has in store whenever I get these little pushes in certain directions. So so that being said, again, this is nothing romantic. She has, for the entire time that she has been there at the house, she's had a boyfriend who has just been an absolute godsend. He's a real dynamic guy, just a peaceful spirit. He's a good character, and I don't want there to be any confusion, thinking that my reaching out or anything that I do, I don't want that to be misconstrued in any way. So with her in mind, and I have to factor in a lot of issues at hand as well. All of my possessions, basically, the vehicles, the Wave Runner, the motorcycle, all my tools, everything, and the house. I feel that she understands better than most what my dreams have been over the whole property and how things, how I've been structuring things. And, once, if anything does happen to me, once things go into her hands, I have no control over it. But no matter, I think she'll be honorable in whatever decision she makes. So she's proven herself time and time again, even through the shittiest tests that I've thrown out there, which weren't really intended as tests. They were just life circumstances and people getting involved and mismatched personalities and things like that. But again, back to, I sincerely, I want to go ahead and make it clear that all of these assets, including the bullion that I have, be placed in her name. Now, the only caveat on that is that with her hardships and things that have gone on in her life, I'm not I don't pry into her finances or anything, but if she does have outstanding debts or anything like that, that would put a hit on the value of what I'm passing along. I think the wisest move to be made where that's concerned, and this will be her choice, her decision. But to have everything put in her son's name, and I have uh, full confidence. He's just a really bright kid, and I have full confidence that he'll, again, use that for his mother to help her, and won't be shady in any way or anything. So, but again, that's that'll be her decision to make, and I encourage her to seek financial and legal help to make those decisions. Now, immediately, as if anything happens, as things unfold, my sister is on my bank account, and I don't know how much cash will be in the account. I don't know what it fluctuates. It goes up few thousand, and then it goes down to zero. It depends on what bills have been paid and what remodel expenses I've been siphoning off of it. But my sister will have control of that, and I want her to maintain control over that cash. However, the bullion that I have, and I have spoken with Angela about how to best liquidate and sparingly use that to take care of bills, mortgage, or whatever needs to be taken care of. So she I think she knows best in the Spartanburg area. I think she knows who to go to and how to go through that process. So the cash in the bank that goes to my sister. That's there to handle any immediate needs, whether it be cremation of me or whatever. And I don't want any kind of elaborate service or anything. I just want to be burned, boxed, and cast to the wind somewhere. And I don't know what if I'm out here on the road and they find me dead in the truck or some shit. I don't know, maybe ambulance expenses or whatever, which at that point I guess they can come after me and try and collect the debts. And then, so the cash to my sister, the bullion to Angela, and then at that point, without legal paperwork in hand, which I'm going to try to get that done as soon as possible. Without that legal paperwork in hand, I'm going to rely heavily on my siblings who are next of kin to be honorable and to facilitate my wishes in this, so that it be clear that this is what I want. I'm not being coerced. I'm not being scammed out of cash or anything like that. This is genuinely what I feel is the best for all involved. So if the cash goes to my sister, immediate needs, the bullion goes immediately to Angela, and I will let her know where, because it's normally either in my pocket out here on the road, or I have 3 shaving kits, and I will, if I'm going to be away from the truck or something, I will hide it in one of those 3 shaving kits. So in the event that I'm found out here on the road, make sure that those shaving kits are returned to Angela, and hopefully nobody will go through them and steal whatever's in there. I may, in the upcoming time off that I have and all, I may go ahead and leave more of it at the house, leave it in the safe or something, and leave it where she can utilize it from that point. And once those two, I'll say, fast cash issues are in place, then as far as all of the possessions, especially the house, the mortgage, and all of that, those are things that are just going to have to be worked through. And again, I'm going to rely very heavily on the honor and integrity of my siblings to make sure that my wishes are followed through with, and that this does get placed into her hands or her son's hands, whatever decision she makes on that. There, I'm sure, will be, legal trailings that go on as far as having to, refinance the house or assume mortgages or something of that nature. At this point, I've got a really, really low mortgage on it, and even if it took, some type of agreement of her just continuing to pay that mortgage until interest rates came down and she was in a better position to to finance herself, then that's all in the hands of others in the event this happens. As far as the vehicles, those would just have to be, I think, agreements made with my siblings, and those signed over to her. I know David, her boyfriend, she said he had been wanting to ride the Wave Runner, so that's I would hope they can get some fun and enjoyment out of that. And the bike, if her son Nick, if he wants that, if she trusts him on it or whatever, which it's probably one of the best ones that you could have. But whatever she decides to do on all of that, that's in her court at that time. So the only things that I do have of a personal nature that are at the house are the 3 paintings that Opernez Patterson made for my mom: the house, the pond, and the mountain scene. And then there's also a large brown suitcase with a ton of family photos and all. And Angela knows where those are at, and she has assured me that she will get those back to family hands. Other than that, there's really nothing of any kind of any personal nature around the house. My mom, she had a couple of pieces of jewelry that I have, the unicorn earrings and stuff. So, and I'm sure Angela, she's not gonna, she's honorable. She's not gonna, if anything like that's identified, she'll make sure it goes back into family hands. So, I may at some point record and clarify and make a less stressed and better video, and like I say, sit down with legal aid and draft something of a solid nature up, and also figure out what measures would have to be taken as far as especially the home transfer and everything. So and this is all it's if my health problems, if everything clears up, if everything works its way through, works out, and if I don't know if David and Angela, if they get married and move to Alabama or move somewhere or whatever and all, then at that point I would probably be adjusting some of the things that went on, or some of the things that the wishes and desires on things and all. And of course, if I live and ever get back into another relationship or anything like that, of course things would be readjusted to that point. But at this point in time, these, in the event that anything happens, these are my wishes for these material things and all at this point in time. It's, you know, it's kind of day by day, but this has been on my mind for a long time. I've needed to do this for a long time. It's just not something that people like to discuss. It's not something that, you know, there's a lot of things that have gone on with my health that I've not talked to anybody about. And because I know immediately, you know, the knee-jerk reaction: go to the hospital, get checked out. And I'm not going to go that route. I'm not going to piss away resources and assets on corrupt industry, knowing what I do. So, but anyhow, y'all be safe. Love everybody, and hopefully this video will, either never be viewed or not be viewed for quite a few years to come. So I'm still kind of interested in what the hell is going on this planet, and what the outcome is. But just as a matter of preparedness, this is it. So 26 minutes, and y'all take care. Love you, and I will see you when I do.